What if I told you this tiny super slim box can run powerful AI models like large language models, image generation, and even video generation? And it's not an expensive $1,200 mini PC or a $500 Nvidia Jetson. I built it myself, and the whole thing cost just $150. So it started with an idea. I wanted something powerful enough to run LLaMA, Stable Diffusion, LLaVA completely offline, yet small enough to become the brain of my robot, which is SARAS 2.0. But that's a story for another video. And it's not just compact, it's also ultra slim, only 24mm thick. So it's basically just as thick as a $1 coin. But getting here wasn't easy. Power failures, heat issues, size constraints, even software problems. Every time I solved one thing, another broke. But still, every obstacle forced me to hack, redesign, and optimize. And step by step, this slim little machine came to life. So let me take you through that journey of how I built this most compact, cheapest AI computer you have probably ever seen. To build this machine, I first needed the right ingredients. Something cheap, small, and something powerful enough to handle real AI workloads. The goal was clear: keep it under $150, but powerful enough to run large language models locally. So the setup had to include a quad-core x86 processor with 16 gigs of RAM, a GPU with 8 gigs of dedicated VRAM, and it should still fit inside a case just 24mm tall. So after a lot of digging, I landed on two pieces. The first was the LLaMA blade, a compact x86 board that cost me about $50, which I found on Marketplace. The second was a Tesla P4 GPU, a data center card with 8 GB of dedicated VRAM, which I found used for just $60 on eBay. On paper, these looked perfect. Together under $110 with enough VRAM to run models bigger than what Nvidia Jetson can handle. It sounded too good to be true. A tiny board, a budget GPU, and suddenly I would have a portable AI computer. Well, that's what I thought, until I actually tried to put them together. And that's where the real problems begin. So the first time I tried powering this setup, nothing happened. The Tesla P4 simply refused to turn on with the LLaMA blade. And I quickly learned why. This GPU wasn't designed for a tiny SBC like LLaMA blade. It needed stable external power, and the LLaMA blade alone couldn't deliver it. So I started digging through forums, spec sheets, and riser cables, until I finally found something promising: a PCI riser with its own power input. I hacked together a setup, DC adapter, separate supplies for the LLaMA blade and the Tesla. It wasn't pretty, and it looked like a mess of wires. But the moment I saw terminal logs for the very first time, it felt like a win. Except this victory didn't last long, because while the power problems were solved, another problem was about to hit me even harder, which was heat. With the GPU finally powering up, I thought I was in the clear. I installed Ubuntu, set up Ollama, and launched my first large language model. At first, it worked. The model started responding, and I was excited. Until suddenly the system froze. When I checked the logs, the GPU temperature had spiked to 90, even sometime hitting 95 degrees. And that's when it hit me. The Tesla P4 has no fan, and it was basically cooking itself. So I started looking for cooling options. But from the start, I didn't just want this thing to work. I wanted it to be portable, light, and ridiculously compact. So I challenged myself to build an AI computer that's not just cheap, but slimmer than a coin. That meant I couldn't exceed 26mm in width. If I wanted this dream to survive, I had to completely rethink cooling and design a whole new kind of a case. And that's what led me into the next phase. By this point, I knew what I wanted. Not just a working AI computer, but one that was portable, lightweight, and slimmer than a coin. So I opened my CAD modeling tool Fusion 360 and began designing the case. Every millimeter had to be thought through. Channels for air to move, vents on the sides, a mount for the blower fan. This wasn't just a shell, the case itself had to become part of the cooling system. I planned for an aluminum base so heat from the GPU could transfer straight into the body, turning the entire case into a passive heatsink. A 3D printed fan shroud to force air directly through the Tesla fins, and space for a power switch tied neatly into the XT60 connector, so I could power the whole thing with one supply. It was like designing a tiny engine room, or the whole build would fall apart. And finally, after hours of tweaking in CAD modeling tool, it was time to bring it to life. I sliced the models, sent them to the 3D printer, and started watching the parts take shape. "3D printing the parts was just the beginning. Now it was time to assemble everything and see if my design actually worked. I laid out all the printed pieces, the top panel, the base frame with the aluminum plate fitted snugly at the bottom. Everything looked clean, precise, but the real challenge was getting all the components to fit inside that 24mm shell. So I started with the basics. First, adding the heat inserts so I could screw everything together later. Then came the LLaMA blade. To make the build slimmer, I had to remove its original case entirely. And that's when I realized the LLaMA blade's own body worked as a heatsink. So now I needed a cooling solution for it too. I used a 2mm copper shim with thermal paste between the LLaMA blade's processor and the aluminum base, turning the base itself into a shade heatsink. To hold the board in place, I used self-adhesive standoffs, keeping everything aligned and low profile. Next came the Tesla GPU. I connected the PCI riser, then mounted the Tesla with a 3D printed fan shroud that would guide air directly across its fins. Then came wiring. I wanted one clean power system, not multiple power supplies scattered around. I started connecting the blower fan and the Tesla 6-pin riser cable, all into a single line. Everything merged neatly into an XT60 connector. And the case already had a slot for a power switch, so I wired that in as well, tied directly to the XT60 for a unified on-off control. I screw in the blower fan in position, set to pull air from above, and channel it through the shroud. And just like that, everything started coming together. The wiring tucked in, the fan aligned, the copper shim in contact, all packed tightly inside the aluminum based case. And finally, I closed the top panel and its vents sitting perfectly above the Tesla's cover. The scattered parts I started with had now transformed into a single machine, compact, solid, and ready for its first power on. One last thing stood between me and the first boot, the power supply. I wanted a single supply that could run everything cleanly. So I found a slim 200-watt PCU, compact enough to match the build, and powerful enough to handle the load. At peak workload, the system can pull around 120 to 150 watts, and this PCU could handle that easily, with room to spare. I wired the PSU output directly into the XT60 connector, the same hub that now powered the LLaMA blade, the Tesla through its riser, and the blower fan. And finally, everything was in place. The case was assembled, the wiring was done, and now the system had its own dedicated 200-watt power supply. So let's flip the switch and see whether this thing works or goes up in smoke. Well, the blower fan spun up instantly, pushing air across the Tesla fins. That means the power is reaching to the setup. Great, the logs started rolling out on the terminal. And there it is. The LLaMA blade detected the Tesla P4 without a single error. Now came the real test. Could it stay cool under the load? Let's see that as well. So I ran a GPU stress test, and this time the temperature climbed, but it held steady and stayed well below the danger. The copper shim, aluminium base, blower fan, all of it working together exactly as I had hoped for. To be honest, this feels great. A compact, slim AI computer, fully powered, fully stable, and ready to take on real AI workloads. With the system finally stable, it was time for the real test. Could this tiny box actually run AI workloads? So I again started with a large language model. I loaded LLaMA 13 billion parameters model through Ollama and asked it to generate text. The response came back smoothly. No crash, no thermal runaway. A full 13 billion parameter model running locally inside a case slimmer than a coin. The temperature peaked at just 39 degrees Celsius, which is incredible, considering it used to shoot up to 90 before. I also tested on 8B model, and it ran noticeably faster than the 13B, which is a perfectly usable speed. Next, I pushed it further. I ran LLaVA, the vision language model. I gave it an image and it responded, describing what it saw, directly on this box, offline, without any internet connection. So even with the LLaVA vision model running, the temp stayed stable around 48 degrees Celsius. But I didn't stop at text and vision. I fired up Stable Diffusion. And right there, this little $150 machine generated an image from scratch. And not just image, it also generated a 5-second video. Language, vision, image generation, all running inside one ultra-compact AI computer. And the wild part, this wasn't some $1,200 mini PC or a $500 Jetson. This was a system I built myself for just under $150. Now the big question, how does this little $150 build compare to the official options out there? On one side, you have got the Jetson Nano Super, which is around $500. It's great for robotics and power efficiency, but as far as I know, it can't run larger models like LLaMA 13 billion model, since its 8 GB of shared memory limits it to run about 7 billion parameter model. But if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comment section. And then there's the Thunder Robot Mix, a super compact mini PC with an RTX 4060. Powerful? Yes, but it will set you back over $1,200. And if you want a more compact option, that might not be the best out there. And then there is this build. For just $150, it's running a Tesla P4 GPU with 8 GB of dedicated VRAM. That means it can handle 13 billion parameter models, something the Jetson can't manage at a fraction of that price range. And of course, it's not perfect. It's not as power efficient as Jetson. But if you look at the cost versus capability, I don't think anything comes close. And if I have missed something, or if you think I got any detail wrong here, jump into the comments and let me know. I would love to hear from people who have built with Jetsons or other small form factors PCs. Well, every step of this build felt like a roadblock. Power, heat, size, software, you name it. But solving them one by one turned into something bigger. Now I've got a fully working AI computer, compact, slim, and built for under $150. It runs LLaMA, LLaVA, even Stable Diffusion, all offline with no cloud or APIs. And this is just the beginning. Next, I want to push this into robotics, battery-powered setups, and maybe I want to try running bigger models. So stick around because the next challenge is already waiting. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. That's it.